Provost is a chief academic officer, and so I think the primary responsibility is always maintaining the quality of the institution and enhancing and sustaining the quality of the faculty and enhancing and sustaining the quality of the students. I never thought about being the provost of a university. I was very happily in an administrative position, and if I thought much about my future, I would have looked forward to just going back to civilian life as a scientist and academic and teaching again. These are things that really excite me. I've had, by my count, 3 major research involvements in my career. One is a very basic research on the nature of the self and self-defensive processes. One was very practical on a sort of social psychological model of alcohol addiction. And the one that stereotype threat came from was also started out as a very practical involvement. And sometimes over the last 20 years, it's gotten to be very basic science. Stereotype is very simple to define. It's just being in a situation or doing something for which a negative stereotype about one of your identities is relevant. As soon as that happens, as soon as you're in that situation, you know that other people could see you, judge you, and treat you stereotypically. And if you care about what you're doing, if that thing is important to you in some way, the prospect of being reduced to a stereotype in that situation can be upsetting and disturbing, and it can just interfere with your functioning right then and there. I find Columbia a very attractive institution to come to. And his friends have told me that Columbia may have the slight habit of underselling itself. But from the outside, and especially to somebody who's been in academics as long as I have, it's an extremely interesting and importantly positioned university. It's in a major city. It's in an international crossroads. It's a diverse institution. It's an academically powerful and important, well-exposed institution. Maybe sometimes it feels like it's too well exposed. I don't know. But for all those reasons, Columbia itself is an attractive place to come. Lee Bollinger is somebody that I have known and known of for many years. We were together briefly at the University of Michigan in the early 80s. I was an expert witness in the Michigan cases defending affirmative action that eventually got to the Supreme Court. So I've known of him, his ideals, his mission, and that's something that's interesting in a Columbia context. So I found it very quickly a very attractive thing to do at this point in life. So it's an opportunity to sort of see one's ideas and concerns take shape and have an impact on things that's what I thought about when I thought about taking this job. And I was primed for this when the opportunity came along. And also it's a partnership. The provostship, you're in partnership with the president in some way in sort of drafting the direction of the institution, the academic direction of the institution. So it's important to imagine that you would be able to get along with this president and that you share values and you share perspectives on things. That was true in this case. So the visions that Lee Bollinger has developed for this institution over the years are exciting to me, and I hope I'm able to add a new energy to it. The major things that Columbia has focused on in the last number of years, the development of this Manhattanville campus and the expansion of it, the creation of space, is very instrumental to the quality of this university, of its ability to grow and to attract first-rate faculty and students. Also, the emphasis on globalization, which is another of Lee's foci in the last number of years. That's really, something's got to, we all realize that these institutions have to become more global in some way or another. And Columbia has thought very hard about how to do that and has got a very, I think, manageable plan in place that the trajectory of which will be evolutionary in the sense that it will go step by step in a manageable way to making this a more globally accessible institution and to make the contributions of Columbia more accessible in a global context. It's deeply important to me, the diversity of Columbia. It's one of the dimensions of the institution that's very attractive to me. I mean, you can see from my research, I think all of it, in some way or another, bears on the value of diversity in participation in American society. It's an incredibly important mission, life mission of mine, and part of my character. I'm a diverse person. And Columbia, I am proud to say, among the Ivies, is apparently has the most diverse student body of all of them. There are still places where it can improve. Graduate school, faculty, and the like, those are still challenges that I would like to add my expertise and energies to improving. And I certainly don't want to say because Columbia is so strong in this dimension now, it has no challenges. It does. We always do. But it's something that I have to take from the history of this institution is a basic part of its character too. So I feel a compatibility in this institution. I'm 63, and that's not an age when people typically pick up and start over again. So that's kind of something that's both a challenge to us, but also very exciting.